McCarrs Creek is just north of Bayview on Sydney's northern beaches. We're launching today from McCarrs Creek Reserve, which is operated by the local council and has free parking. This is always a nice bonus when you're not sure exactly how long you're going to be out. The 8 of us are travelling north today towards Barrenjoey. Our launch is here at McCarrs Creek Reserve, and from there, without any real plan, we're going to start to head north until we get to Palm Beach or Barrenjoey. A lot of you will know it as Summer Bay, which is where the TV show Home and Away is filmed. To the north of Palm Beach is Barrenjoey Headland, and there's meant to be a seal colony there, so we're hopeful that we're going to get to see some today. The reserve is a pretty good spot to launch from. There's a boat ramp to help you get down to the water and also a pontoon that you can use. As you start to get out towards Pittwater, you'll also notice a lot of jellyfish in the water. It's pretty cool to see them so far down and have such clear water. So this is coming towards the entrance to McCarrs Creek. You've got Scotland Island in front of you. Scotland Island is one of those funny places that a lot of tourists go, but it's actually residential, there's no shops and there's absolutely nothing to do there, and the locals really don't like having visitors. Pittwater is a sheltered bay and has a lot of boats moored in it. It's actually a really good spot to paddle, although you do find from time to time you get some fairly heavy wake that can knock you up and down, and it's something you need to watch for.
How'd you find that, Josh?
Could be better.
4 out of 10, would
4
recommend.
out of 10.
It's one of those rare occasions where Josh said something I can put on the video. Here we are just outside the basin and we're going across to Palm Beach. So we're just going across the middle of the channel, trying to stay together as a group, which is always fun, and starting to see some boat traffic. So let's see how that goes. We made it across the channel in one piece. We're now heading into Palm Beach, so we will be having a lunch break hopefully. You can see some of the group trailing along behind me probably.
Because the bay is so calm, you can usually see quite a way into the water, and there's usually something interesting down there as you get towards the edges, either rocks or in this case seaweed. The paddle up today was about 11 kilometres to the beach. Once we got there, we looked for a spot to land. Conveniently, we found a place with an ice cream truck. From the beach, it's possible to walk up to the lighthouse. It's about a 25-minute walk, 1.5 kilometres, but it is a fairly decent climb. So this week I'm paddling my Sea Kayak, the Mirage 580. For those of you from overseas, the Mirage is an Australian design. What really sets it apart is the integrated rudder. It allows you to take all sorts of sea conditions without any drama. It's actually one of the best sea kayaks you'll find anywhere in the world. At 5.8 metres it tracks beautifully. There's also a shorter design, the Mirage 530. And in recent years I've upgraded it to the 532 and 582 standard. These have a larger hatch as well as other improvements to the manufacture. The Mirage is pretty well known as being the sea kayak you take if you want to paddle across Bass Strait to Tasmania.
We've just got back up on the water and we're now going to try and go around Barrenjoey Head to spot some seals.
It didn't actually take very long to spot seals. They were right on the headland. As soon as we got over there, we saw one on the rock and then realised there was one swimming in the water next to it. The one on the rock also had a couple of friends up there with him. If you're on foot, you need to leave a 40-metre space between you and any seals you come across. When you're in a kayak, it's actually 10 metres. Although if there's babies present, you need to stay at least 80 metres away because the parents can be quite territorial. The sign on the rock there says 40 metres, just in case you're walking, like the fisherman we saw earlier. This guy was pretty cool. He's the bull in charge of the colony. He's a lot bigger than the other seals we saw, and made a lot of noise if you got too close to him. As well as the seals on the rocks, we also saw a number that were sleeping in the water. As we started to paddle back, one of the things we noticed was there's a lot of surf coming in from the Hawkesbury. It may have been tidal or it could have just been random, but you can see here I got the chance to travel a little ways under surf power, which makes a nice change to having to paddle.
That was Barrenjoey and the seal colony, and I have to say, much better than I was expecting. I didn't realise it'd be that close to where we had lunch, or that there'd be that many of them.
As we started to paddle back, the wind and the tide started to turn, and we did find it a little harder going. It was nice not to be paddling into the sun though. On the way up we had it in our eyes and it really did make it hard to see what was happening. We came back down the eastern side of Pittwater. It's where most of the boats are moored. It was really cool to be able to see them all and paddle between them. And there's a lot more houses on this side too, with the western side being mostly national park. There is a lot of sea life in Pittwater, as well as the jellyfish and the seals. I've also seen giant sea turtles on previous trips. This was the third time we'd paddled from McCarrs Creek. There's a really excellent paddle from there up to the basin, and you can also go the other way down to Bayview. There's a dog park down there right on the water. It's really cool to see the dogs splashing in the water as you're in your kayak, and then you get to come back past some of the big yacht clubs that take part in the Sydney to Hobart each year. Because of the way the weather turned, we decided not to stop for lunch, and by the time we got back to the launch, everybody was getting fairly hungry.
That was McCarrs Creek up to Barrenjoey, about 24 kilometres all up, and those seals were really amazing. That was really a highlight of the day for me. The group I'm paddling with today is Sydney Kayaking Meetup. It's a Facebook group that's open to anybody that lives in Sydney.
Once we got back, everybody was keen to discuss the seals. We all had a great day and we're really excited to be able to see so many of them. Thanks for watching, I really appreciate it.